Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tarnished Bronze. This is the Cult Comics Corner, and today we are going to be looking at Maple Terrace issue 3. Now, issue 3 is brought to you like issue 1 and 2 from Noah Van Sciver, but here you can see he's doing a really fantastic riff on Rob Liefeld. We've got pouches, we've got guns, we've just got oversized bodies for the size of the head. And, in superhero comics, that makes someone look really heroic and makes things look really dynamic. And so Noah is doing a really good job there. But his young counterpart in his sort of autobiographical trip down memory lane here is not going so well. So he's in the midst of a counseling session at school, and he can't really focus because he's very, very concerned about getting beaten up due to stealing someone's comics, and now they're destroyed and he can't return them in a good condition. He's getting worried and anxious about the fact that Spawn 5 has the Billy Kincaid child killer episode where trophies and stuff are taken, including the fingers that are there on that panel in his ice cream van. And so, just by the way, the ice cream van stuff, not sure if the new Image series ice cream van is about that, but I hope it does have a callback to those original Image series. Rather, someone can let me know in the comments. But nonetheless, young Noah has a lot going on, and he just tells his counselor that's why he might be a little bit off these days. And you can see he's really, really anxious. There's going to be a showdown at Vincent's pizza, and the person spying on Noah in the forest also has something to hide because he might have been there with Martinelli's sister, Martinelli being the guy who owns the comics. So this is all getting tangled up. Everyone is getting embroiled in this kind of saga with Noah, his comics, his brothers, and just the whole rest of his school life here. And so just to kind of rectify this, he is going to bring the comics back, but you can see that they're really in tattered shape there. There's some X-Force issues that we see. I think there's a couple of young bloods in there, and maybe a Death of Superman. So very, very highly prized investments, obviously, for this young man. And everyone thinks that they're going to send themselves through to college using these. And then when we get into the showdown at the pizzeria, Martinelli is just furious that his comics are in such crappy condition. But his brother Jonah manages to come to his rescue, and he comes into the pizza parlor and says, "Hey, it's not my brother's fault that all these comics are wrecked. It's down to me." And you know, what's it gonna be? And so his brother really helps him out. He manages to get Noah away safely from the pizza parlor. And this is another great little panel. Noah saying, "I think you saved my life." And his brother said, "I just wanted to fight." Like he didn't really care about his brother, about the comics, about Martinelli. He just wanted a bit of a scrap. And it must be said, Noah Van Sciver does have these beautiful moments in the comics. One of the first ones being the Barry Windsor Smith is an artist for men, Todd McFarlane is an artist for boys. And this panel here, there's just some really great moments that I don't think you can really kind of create if you're trying to. You just have to let the ether come to you. We might have mentioned before that he has this friend who is a bit sort of more well-to-do or more well-off than Noah, and his birthday party has clowns, it's got laser tag, it's got all of these really cool things going on, and Noah has to bring this thing of which he was really annoyed that he had to buy, and also it's wrapped in newspaper. Now, I don't really think that this is something that came late. I think maybe this has happened to Noah. He had to wrap a gift in newspaper and was so embarrassed. You can see the other kids are bringing these large, beautifully wrapped parcels, and Noah has to bring this basically pack of cards wrapped in newspaper, and the dad is not really having it. And just as an aside, I think this is just a totally inappropriate for a parent just to send a kid away because just what a low ebb. Just really not a fan of this father here. And nonetheless, we've seen God smile on Noah before, And God smiles on Noah again. Like the party is ruined, it rains, the clowns' makeup's all running, everyone has got to run away from the outside barbecue, and the party is kind of like had the kibosh put on it. And so maybe these are moments from real life. Maybe these are moments from real life that Noah Van Sciver wished had this sort of outcome. But nonetheless, he's getting his gratification back in comic book form. And this is just another really good moment. This is full of really great character moments, really great kind of action scenes, some great comedy. And I think the pacing is really good in these issues as well. We might also mention that in the last issue, Noah has become noted for his artistic skills. Indeed, his teacher calls him the art god. And so, as Noah is sort of dejectedly but somewhat happily, I mean, he's sad that he didn't get to go to the party. He's somewhat upbeat because the rain has really put the kibosh on his erstwhile friend's birthday party. A friend from school yells out and says, "Oh, hey, you're the guy who could draw the really good Bart Simpson characters. I'm Brenton. I like the class as well. And not only that is I have a whole bunch of food and cookies and milk and so on and so forth, but I've also got cable TV and we can watch Nickelodeon, which has Rugrats and all these really fun shows that maybe Noah doesn't get to see because he's got a big family with lots of overhead and stuff, and they maybe don't have the television that has all of these cool channels." And so Noah kind of loves it. And just is just a really good way to end this story at the beginning of something else. Um, First of all, just the issues work really great. It's just a young, um, just immediately prior to teenager, these kind of stories really resonate with me. The fact that the interests are similar interests to myself as well, and I'm sure that they'll resonate with a lot of people reading these or watching these episodes. It really does bring you right back to that comic era that is just gone. So it's an era where the superstars were the artists. There were individuals who were the superstars. There was no comic book movies. There was no comic book media besides maybe Hero magazine and the Comics Journal, which are sort of in order of esotericism, I suspect. And maybe Wizard magazine was around, but there was no internet. The word of mouth and the convention scenes were big. What you read in the comics and what you read in things like Stan's Soapbox and Bullpen Bulletins and DC Connect stuff, and those first pages at the start of DC books, or those Marvel bullpen things, or the letters columns, or the soapboxes, or I think it's called End Cap in Spawn, or the excessive letters columns of the Savage Dragon, or there might have been a Wildstorm Wild Notes, perhaps. But that was the way that you got the news. And these people were superstars. And now comics are sort of made by people who are a little bit more anonymous. Like I think Marvel and DC got burnt when everyone went to Image Comics, and they just don't do that anymore. And so I love how this is comics about comics. I love the era that he's harkening back to here. I love the Liefeld-esque cover. I mean, Liefeld is probably the last person to make a character that anyone remembers, which is Deadpool. Maybe the person before that is Dan Jurgens and Blue Beetle, but I'm hard pressed to come up with something in a mainstream superhero comic that can go the distance with either of those two. So this is just like really great. I'm looking forward to getting into more Noah Van Sciver. I know he has a lot of sort of works out there, and I'm gonna be delving into them. So once again, Maple Terrace, Noah Van Sciver, can't recommend it highly enough. And you can find that at Uncivilized Press. And you can find more episodes of Tarnished Bronze, including the Cult Comics specials or the Cult Comics Corner, on our channel by following, and subscribing. So yeah, enjoy yourselves. Make sure you make sure you give something different a try. And that's all from us.